So I just finished Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and all of its DLCs this morning. And I tried to stop and go and do something else, but I just can't stop thinking about it, and I have to talk about it. And there's no one, not a soul in my personal life who cares about this even like a fraction of what I do. So I just need to talk and get my thoughts out, and then that'll be my way to kind of close the book on the game. So, uh, to start, I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 very much. I played, I would guess, about half of the story, and I primarily played in hardcore mode, and I loved it. I loved what it was doing. I loved the systems and just the difficulty, the brutality of it, the everything about the game. It was an RPG like the ones I grew up with. It kind of reminded me of something like Skyrim in a way, but then also combined some of the other elements from other RPGs I liked, like I don't know, like Dragon Age Origins with like more thoughtful dialogue and reading through the codex and uncovering. I don't know. It was a full package that was it scratched all of my itches from games that I've played in the past, but all in one package, if that makes sense. However, the first one, was it was good. It was very good. It was the first game from this studio, but it's not a secret that it was, had a low kind of budget and kind of no hate or anything, no hate at all. It's still a wonderful game that I probably will play again in the future, but it had some rough patches. It had bugs, it had weirdness, it had some sketchy, just kind of not great stuff in it. There was like four voice actors through the whole game, and you just kept hearing the same voice, and just like stuff like that, which it's kind of endearing in a way, but at the same time, it seemed like a low budget game because that's sort of kind of what it was. Again, no hate, but anyway, the second one came out. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and my God, they really ramped up everything. I forget who exactly it was, but one of the main devs or someone on the PR team or something, I think they have a quote, something along the lines of KCD 2 is the game that we wanted the first one to be, basically. So, and it shows. It has so many features that should have been in the first game that aren't, something as simple as crossbows, for example, but more refined skill tree, longer, more in-depth story, a wide cast of characters that are all so incredibly unique and deep and intriguing on their own, in their own unique way. Not like any other game that I've really played. Most video games, with some exceptions like Red Dead 2, something of that tier. Most characters are relatively one note, at least in my opinion. This game totally throws that out the window. This is like cinema level stuff. This is incredible writing, very deep, passionate, emotional voice acting, the cinematography and the lighting and the colors and the music and the acting and everything about all of the cinematic parts of the game, like in cutscenes and stuff. Incredible work. And then the moment-to-moment gameplay is maybe not exciting or super stimulating as in other games, but once you adjust to the speed of this game and play it on its terms, it's just you enter at least for me, I entered a state with this game that just didn't feel like any other game that I have played, like ever. Like I really did feel like when I booted up the game, I stepped into the shoes of Henry of Skalitz, and I lived through his story. And it was interesting because, it's an RPG and you don't make your own. There's a set character, but there are many routes to take, many decisions to make as Henry when he's faced with certain decisions, and I do feel like there's a lot of replayability for this game, which I probably won't do for a long time because goddamn is it a long game. I think I didn't even try to do a completionist run or anything, but I tried to play the game in bits and pieces and take my time with it, which is why it took me a year and 3 months since it released to finally finish it. Obviously, I played a lot of other games and, have an adult life, so I'm busy. But I ended up, I think, with 156 hours, I believe, is the final um, amount on my current save. Yeah, so I mean, a long game, and I feel like I did almost everything. I'm sure there's some stuff I missed, but every side quest and side activity that I could find, I did by choice too, not just for completionist clout or whatever. Like I really wanted to get everything out of this game that I could. That playtime also included all the DLCs, which are all great in their own way. Personally, I think I liked Legacy of the Forge the most, and the whole time I was playing it, actually, I was thinking to myself, like, dang, I cannot wait to do, I'm gonna love this shit on a hardcore playthrough, because the game, or that DLC, rather, actually gives you, a really solid home base, where you can sleep, you can eat, you can repair stuff, you can forge, it gives you a way to make a steady flow of groschen, of money. Like everything you need is confined in that place. In Kuttenberg, the second region of the game, that city really starts to feel like your home. In a way that like other video game homes, like shit in Sky, like Breeze Home in Skyrim or Fallout or any other similar style RPG where you have a player home, it doesn't really it just feels like a place to put your shit, right? But this actually kind of felt like a home, and like your dog was there and your horse was there and you could wash them, and then I don't know, yada yada. There's so much to it, and I'm not going to cover all of that. But that one was great, and it had like a little story to go with it, which was nice. Not groundbreaking stuff, but it was good, and it was what it needed to be, I think. Like people would come into your shop and ask for certain commissions, and a lot of them were pretty basic, like, I'm a carpenter and I need a new axe, or some shit like that. And you make an axe and you take it to them, and that's it. But there's some where, there's this one recurring character that wanted you to, he wanted to teach you, or no, sorry, he wanted you to teach him how to forge, but he just wanted to watch you, I think. And at the end of it, he wants to watch you forge drunk. And so basically you get sloshed with him and forge something for him. And it's just like, little inconsequential goofy shit like that. That's just like fun, But I don't know. Anyway, so that DLC was great. And so were the other two. And I won't go into them in depth. They're just their own confined little stories. And very, very enjoyable. Great additions to the game. They're not like massive expansions that add whole new areas and tons of runtime, but that it's not necessary. It's not needed. They, in my opinion, are kind of the perfect DLCs. They're just what I liked, Like I had gone on this massive epic quest with Henry through the main story, and these were, additions to that, not replacements or they didn't feel crucial to the main plot, right? They're just extra adventures. So anyway, that's enough about the DLCs. The base game is incredible, and I'm not just trying to glaze. There's a lot about this game that I don't like. There's a lot of frustrations. Like I got a clip in here somewhere that I'll show where it just, a lot of the gameplay, especially if you try to rush the game and force your way through stuff, there is a lot of jank still, right? Even towards the end of the third DLC, which I finished this morning, I was doing like a sword fight, as one does in this game. That sounded stupid. I was doing a sword fight, and even after 150 whatever hours, I was still getting frustrated with the combat camera, dude. Like, I like what they're going for the combat, and you really have to give yourself to it. You can't force it. But in those moments where like you're getting hit from all over and your camera's sticking to one guy and there's some like the little bucket in your way that you're tripping on and you're stuck and everyone's in there, it just sucks. It just kind of sucks sometimes, right? I mean, that's just the truth of it. But when it works, it fucking works and it's sick. And you feel like a real knight, master swordsman, and it really scratches an itch that other game in their melee combat just does not itch. But when it doesn't work, it really doesn't work, and it's really a drag. So anyway, I have a lot of like little qualms with this game, but overall, I just, it's unbelievable the amount of content that's in this game, but not just the quality, but also the ongoing, unceasing quality of it as well. A lot of games, sure, it just seems like common nowadays that most games are expected to have 100 to 2 hours or 100 to 200 hours of like main story and all this side content and all this shit just to fill your time. And yeah, this game had some of that filler content, absolutely. But the vast majority of it was engaging, high quality writing with stakes and interest. Even like the most minimal, basic, boring side quest still had something in it that entertained me, intrigued me. There's still something I could learn along the way, or even just through the basic gameplay. Just getting from A to B was interesting, I guess. And that's something in particular I really, really loved about this game was the just the world and just getting around it. I mean, I'm a grown man with responsibilities. I'm married. I have a dog. I have a house. I work full time. And so a lot of times when I play games, the things that stick out to me anymore are the time wasting moments, right? And in a lot of games, just traveling around from A to B feels like a waste of time. And absolutely, I had that in this game. There's a lot of riding your horse back and forth, and then taking accidentally going down a wrong path, and it takes even longer. And that can be a drag. But I, the most of the time, I was thinking about the travel, and it was enjoying in its own way, just navigating through the world and taking in the scenery, and just really escaping into this experience that so many creative, hardworking people made for us to explore and get lost in. I mean, I couldn't believe how enjoyable so many hours of my life were where I was just simply sitting on my couch holding forward on the stick or even not even putting any inputs into my controller because there's like the horse will automatically follow a road. So a lot of times I'm just sitting there looking around and it's nice. It just is. It's nice. I mean, the music in the game is wonderful and this game especially during just like noon, midday timing. The lighting is gorgeous. The environments are stunning. The way this game portrays and renders the natural world, the forests and the trees and the fields and the animals and the little creeks and rivers and in the first map all the rock outcroppings and the ponds and just it is just an absolute joy to just wander around and take in. It really is. And especially this past winter when I was playing it, like this game made me feel warm. You know what I mean? Because I think this game and the first one too, this whole story like takes place around the summer. And you could just when I was sitting there playing this on my TV with my headphones on, I really just felt it. I felt like the slight mugginess, the warm air, the sunlight, like it feels so visceral and real in a lot of times. And not just with the weather either, like the combat as well, the acting, the everything. Um it just I don't know. I could go on and on forever about this game. and it feels good to get some of this out of my head. Um, and I've been thinking about this stuff for, over a year. So I guess I just kind of want to summarize this and wrap it up so I'm not rambling all day. Essentially, this game was an absolute treat to play, and I feel so lucky to be at this age, at this time in the world where I can interface with this game on the PlayStation 5 on my big TV with my headphones on and just get lost and immersed in this stunning world that these people have made. And all of this only cost me what, like 60, $70, right? I mean, with the DLCs a little bit more, but I feel just so yeah, lucky. I don't know, fortunate to have this sort of experience in the way that I did. And if I could wipe my memory and do it all over again, I absolutely would, right? And I plan to keep playing it more. I mean, I'm definitely going to take a break because I have a lot of other stuff to play and a lot of other responsibilities in life. But one day, I absolutely will return to this game. It'll permanently be in my game library, and it's a game I think that you like a good book or a great movie or something along that. Any kind of true art form, you get so much more out of it if you revisit it again and again, right? I've reread the Lord of the Rings books like 3 times now, 2 or 3 times. Well, three, I think, roughly. It doesn't, whatever. Anyway, and I want to read it more, but it doesn't matter. Going back to them is, it uncovers new things I missed the first time, and just it really lets you savor the flavors of the art. And absolutely, 100%, that's what I want to do with this game and all the DLCs in the first game too. They just released like an updated version of it, I guess, for the new console generation, so it runs better and all that. And yeah, so no, I mean this whole series. I mean, they also announced a future Kingdom Come story, which doesn't sound like it'll be like the full-length immersive game like these two, but I mean, I imagine one day like I could have a I mean this series matters so much to me. Like I'm stingy with my money, but this matters so much to me that if they in the future one day release like a collector's edition box set of the full Kingdom Come like story legacy, I'm absolutely 100% buying that, and I will replay it again and again in the future. And I haven't even touched hardcore mode yet, dude. I wanted to, as soon as they added that update, I wanted to restart the game, but I just stuck with my current save because I was in so deep, and I figured no, a fresh restart will be the way to go. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do hardcore mode, all negative perks, and really get absorbed into this again in the future, and I can't wait. That's that there should summarize how good I think this game is and how much I enjoyed it, because I'm picky about the games that I play. I am. I don't have a lot of time to play anymore, and it means that this game truly is special. If I already sunk all this time into it, and I want to go back and do it again on an even harder game mode, So I don't know. Ranting and rambling over. Thanks so much for watching. If you did, don't know why you did. I just wanted to shout into the void about one of my favorite games of all time, and just gonna get some of these feelings out so I can move on with my life. And yeah, if you played the game and enjoyed it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know that too, and why, and we can start some kind of discourse about it. I mean, it's interesting to me to hear what people like and don't like and different opinions, because it's all valid. At first I didn't like the first one. I thought it was a clunky janky mess, and then I just kept running my head into the wall with it and finally figured out the combat a little bit, and then it opened up and turned into something that I really enjoyed. But I totally get why people don't like it at first. If you're not used to this type of game and if it's not your thing, it can totally be a boring, grindy slog fest full of, and you just you focus on the jank, you focus on the frustrations of the combat camera and all that. So I get it. But anyway, if you're on the fence, please, please, please give this game a try. Really, if I could say one thing to a new player that isn't sure about it, take it slow. Play this game on its terms and really take the time to just absorb the world and do stuff at, snail speed. I mean, really, like, train with the combat as much as you can. Brew potions, forge stuff, repair your equipment, um, talk to people, just look around and walk around. Like that's what this game is. It's all about the journey. And I know that sounds cliche, but it really is. Like rushing A to B, it just gives you a worse experience. Like the only way I think to um well, not the only way, just what am I trying to say? Just if you take the time and to explore all options and try to figure out what would be maybe not best, but what Henry would do, or your version of Henry, or whatever. And if you look around and you work on your character and you talk to people and do all the stuff, then I promise you it will be a better time. The end result, once you reach the conclusion of the quest you're on, or the whole game, or the DLCs, or whatever, it will be so much more rewarding, and the experience that you gain along the way is so worth it. So, anyway, rant over. I'm finally done yapping. Thank you so much again. And like, subscribe, comment, all that crap. Yeah, have a great day. Thank you.